Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to the streams demo. Today we are continuing from the previous lecture, discussing about more intermediate string functions, moving on to terminal operations in string, seeing some examples of grouping by, like how do you do group by in strings, All right, let's go ahead and get started. Before we start, if you haven't watched the previous 3 lectures on streams, please go ahead and watch them before watching this video, because the previous one covers a lot of fundamental concepts of streams. All right, let's go ahead and get started. First thing, let's discuss flatMap. Obviously, it's a intermediate step. So as every intermediate step, what it will do is accept a stream, perform some operations on it, and again, return back another stream. Because that's what intermediate operations do. Take a stream, do some operations on it, and then return another stream. But what is different with flatMap? We have maps too, right? We have maps in streams. What, like, say, for example, what maps does is takes one type of streams and uses one of the functions of the incoming stream object and converts it into another type of stream. So say, for example, here you were getting a list. The list, when passed to this map, it's a stream of integers. So it invokes the integer.int value method, and to the sum, it will pass an integer stream. So that's map. So why flatMap? So what is flatMap? It's a very important intermediate function. It is also referred to as merging multiple streams or multiple arrays or multiple collections into one stream. It will create one stream from multiple streams combining them together. That's the advantage of flatMap, which is not there anywhere else, which you won't find in any other intermediate function. For example, here, before flattening, see, you had 3 arrays, right? First array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8. Once you create a stream and apply flatMap on it, it will combine it into one single stream, combine it into one single array. Let's see the demo. So first, you have a list of list. So 3 elements, and we want to convert list of list into one list, which is the flatten the list. So what we do is use this list, invoke the stream method on it, flatten it, okay, into stream, flatten. See what you're doing. Incoming list, you're invoking the stream on that, and then collecting all the objects into one. Okay, so collect, what it does is, whatever collector you are passing to it, it will invoke that function. Collect, again, as we discussed a little bit about in yesterday too, it's a terminal operation. So after, it does not return any stream, it returns whatever function you have passed to it. The output of the function returns. So collectors.toList collects it. So whatever values are coming into it, it'll collect it, form a stream, form a list, and then return it. So that's the collect method. So here, if we do that, it will print out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the flattened list. Again, another usage, another example of it. We are using the same list of list. This time, instead of simply printing out the elements, of the list, what we are doing is adding everything and creating a sum. Okay, getting a sum of it and assigning it to a variable. So the steps are same. List of list, you create a stream. Each stream is a list of stream, right? So it flattens this into one single stream. Then you call the map to int. Why map to int? Because it returns an int stream which has the sum method. If you just leave it to map, just a stream does not, if you just leave it to map, that stream, it's just a stream. It does not have sum method. So map to int has return C int stream, and int stream has the sum method, inbuilt sum method given to it or programmed in it. So you use that. So before moving ahead, let's run this code and see what happens. See the output. So here, first, the flattened list. What you see is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the sum of all the numbers is 36. All right. So one more time, what is flatMap? It will combine multiple streams and create a single stream out of it. And then it will create a stream and pass it to the next chain of operations, whether it's a next intermediate operation, or see, like in this case, it passed on to the next intermediate operation, or in this case, it passed on to the next terminal operation. Okay, so that is flatMap. Let's talk a little bit about groupBy. Now, I had commented this out because I didn't want the output to get too much messed up. And remove this. All right. IntelliJ is too smart. It just removed all the imports automatically because I commented out. So it should be able to import it. Here you go. So everything. Okay. Everything will have to import. All these are static methods in the collectors. So automatically integer, this is giving us a hint. Import the static method. Okay, there you go. So as you can see from the top, everything. So counting, grouping by identity, comparing all these demo, we are using it at the bottom. Okay. All right. Now for these demos, grouping by and all, we will be using not this one, but the other two. We are using the transaction classes. Okay, the transaction class that we discussed yesterday. First, let's see what is grouping by. So as you guys must be familiar with SQL, right? SQL, it allows grouping by. In a nutshell, what a grouping by is. A grouping by means you have a list of transactions in which not transactions as such, you have a list of records, okay, or tuples, what you can count, with one value is repeated multiple times. And then there is some numeric value on which you perform some aggregation function. So say, for example, employees by department, number of cities by state, anything, count, by faculty, number of faculties per major, how many faculties are there in every major class. Okay, so that is grouping by. Here, it's a simple thing. I've just created a stream just with, it's a stream of words. Java streams are very useful. And what we want to do is count how many times each alphabet is there. So say, for example, A appears 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Like that, count every value, how many times it appears. J is coming only once. So let's do that. And how do we do? So it's a map. What the map does, string, which will be the alphabet, and long, which will be the count, which will give the value of how many times in the stream this character appears. So words, this is the words. You map it, you split it into each word, okay? Word dot split on this, each word is a string, right? You call the split function and you just split on, there's no separator here, right? So empty space. It's just empty space. So it will return a string array because split returns a string array if you see, okay? Here, a split function returns a string array. Now see again, it's a stream of, again, an array. It's not, what do you call, an object or like an integer, okay? It's an array. So what you do, you call flatMap on it and combine everything and make it into a stream. So now if you look here, see, IntelliJ tells you the type of object it returns. So flatMap will return a stream of string. The previous one, the map, returned stream of string arrays, which was not useful for us in counting how many times each character appears, okay? And then you pass it on, this stream of string, you pass it on to the collect method, which is the terminal operation. Now look here, there's a grouping by static method in the collectors class. See here, grouping by, it's a static method, okay? So you come here, grouping by, and identity, it's an inbuilt function, which we have imported. Counting again is an inbuilt function. Identity does nothing but just whatever value you pass to it, it returns you back. See, here it is, identity. Returns a function that always returns its input argument. So see, you're returning T map to T. So the same input argument it's returning. Counting will count. And this is nothing but just we are printing. All right. So let's just focus on this one. Let's see it in action. Okay. Don't focus, don't look below. So if we look here, so see here, as we counted, A appears 4 times, R appears 3 times, S appears 3 times, so on and so forth, right? So we got it here. So that's how we use flatMap and grouping by. So we were grouping by the identity, which was nothing but the alphabet itself, the character itself. And on that identity, we were applying counting function. We were counting how many times the character was passed to the grouping by function. Okay. Now let's see some more practical examples. So streams demo is nothing but just a class. I'm creating an instance of the class. And again, this get transactions returns a bunch of transactions. Again, this is from last lecture. I will just go through it. Transaction is nothing but ID, value, and transaction type. And we have a builder which will build transactions and return to us, which we are using here. So total, we have 6 transactions, of which 1, 2, 3 are groceries, 2 are travel type, and 1 is entertainment, each with different values. Now let's see what all useful information we can get out of these bunch of transactions. All right. First one here, what we are getting is sum by transaction type. Okay. Now, what does this mean is for every transaction, or if you want to put it in real life term, how much you have spent in each category, because transaction is nothing but spending, right? Like on travels, X amount, groceries, X amount, something. So how much you have spent by each category. So again, see, look here, grouping by. First parameter of grouping by is always the value, or the by value, I don't mean the actual numeric value, the column, the field on which you want the aggregation to apply, like whether it's sum, average, max, min, any aggregation to apply. Okay, so in our case, it's transaction type. And see, summing int. Now here, summing int, what are we summing? We are adding get value, right? So in short, what we are getting is a sum total by transaction type. So since we already ran here, see here, for groceries, it's 279 total. And here, this is nothing but just printing KV, okay? So for groceries, total spent was 279. Travel, total spent was 1,100. On entertainment, it was 150. So this is one way of grouping by. Another example, let's look at it. Okay. Same list of transactions. Okay. This one gives you in each category what was the highest value. So max transaction, but it returns an optional transaction because there might not be highest value. All right. So see, again, transactions, which returns these 6 transactions that we have defined above. Stream.collect. Again, we are using grouping by. We are grouping by what? Transaction type. That's the category. And what we are doing? Max by, again, it's an inbuilt static function. What we are doing in max by, we are comparing the values. Okay. And since it's max, it will take the maximum value and compare it with the previous value of this transaction and then return in this map. Okay. So example here, the output. And if you see in grocery, the highest was 100. If you look at the transactions here, in grocery, there are 3. One is 100, one is 80, and one is 99. So 100. In travel, there are 2, 200 and 900, so which was 900. Entertainment, it was just 1. So it returned the same value. Right? One more time, let's recap. flatMap, what it does, it takes multiple streams or stream of streams, combines all the elements and return one single stream with all the elements. Like it flattens it. Okay. Collect, one of the string terminal operations. You pass it a function. Inside it, you pass a function that what do you want to do with the collected values? Now, in this case, we are telling it, collect them into a list. There are various other options available. Collectors.toMap, toSet, various options available. You need to just pass it based on your requirement, what you need. So, like, say, for example, if we go here, see here, you have toList, toSet, toCollection. There are a lot of methods available here. Okay, joining, multiple operations available, mapping. Okay, so depending upon your need, you can choose, you can pass the function to it, the collect method. Grouping, another one, grouping by, takes 2 parameters. First, the category, And the second one, the aggregation function that you need to apply to the category. Okay, here it is, whether you just want to count, or you want to sum, or you want to compare and get the maximum one. So these are some of the examples. Tomorrow would be the last lecture on streams, where we will cover some more examples, and then we will move on to another topic. I'm going to upload this code to the GitHub repository. So if you have time, go ahead, get a look at it, play with the code. All right. Feel free to comment. And if you have any specific topic in mind on which you want to get some more information, please let me know. Thank you. Bye.